Hello viewers, welcome to our channel. In today's lesson, we are going to discuss about Agha Shahid Ali's poem Dacca Guazes. सबसे पहले हमें ये जानने की कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि जो पोएम का टाइटल है ये हमें क्या कहता है. So if we talk about Dacca, Dacca was British name for Dhaka, D-H-A-K. It was renamed in 1982. So, and gauzes. Gauze is a thin fabric with a loose open weave. एक किस्म का कपड़ा होता है जो बहुत ही सॉफ्ट और थिन होता है. So this poem actually tells us about that cloth which was being made in Dhaka. So Dhaka आपको पता होगा it's the capital of Bangladesh. So this poem opens with an epigraph from Oscar Wilde's The Picture of Dorian Gray. Oscar Wilde ने एक प्ले लिखा है जिसका नाम है The Picture of Dorian Gray. तो उस प्ले में भी वो इस क्लॉथ के जो एक कपड़ा है उसकी तारीफ करता है. So let us move ahead with Agha Shahid Ali's poem. Those transparent Dacca gauzes known as woven air, running water, evening dew. अब ये बात कर रहा है उस क्लॉथ की. Dacca gauzes known as woven air. It was thin as air. It was transparent. So this poem actually depicts the poet's nostalgia, his sense of history, his grace, a sensibility as fine as the gauze fabric he describes here. It tells us about how a grandmother is full of praise for Dacca gauzes, a fine muslin which people wore to command respect and honor. So it's a rare cloth worn by the elite class of the society. So here he describes क्या कहता है कि ये transparent है and it is as thin as air. It's just like water. It's just like evening dew. So the poet makes the use of metaphors like running water, evening dew. Okay, let's move ahead. A dead art now, dead over 100 years. No one now knows, my grandmother says. Now, the poet here says that this art is now dead. ये तो अब खत्म हो गया है. इसको बहुत टाइम हो गया है. ये आर्ट जो है खत्म हो गया. अब आजकल किसी को ये पता नहीं है कि ये आर्ट क्या है. No one now knows, my grandmother says, what it was to wear or touch that cloth. इस कपड़े को पहनने में या उसको टच करने में कौन सा मज़ा आता था. What it was to wear or touch that cloth. She wore it once. My grandmother, the poet here says that his grandmother wore it only once. An heirloom sari. Now, what does heirloom mean? Heirloom is a gift from her. It was actually a gift from her ancestors. So इसका synonym जो है heirloom का है वो patrimony भी है. So अगर आप देखेंगे कि patrimony क्या होता है, it's just like a valued possession जो एक इंसान को मिलता है, विरासत में मिलता है और which is passed down through generations. An heirloom sari from her mother's dowry proved genuine when it was pulled all 6 yards through a ring. वहाँ पे लोगों का जो है रिवाज होता था. It was just like a custom. In order to test the genuineness or the originality of the cloth was pulled through a ring. So the ring was just like a touchstone or the yardstick which would test the originality of the cloth and its craftsmanship. तो उन्होंने क्या किया था, उस क्लॉथ को पुल किया था थ्रू ए रिंग. तो उनको पता चला था कि ये क्लॉथ अगर रिंग में से गुजर गया, आसानी से गुजर गया, तो ये क्लॉथ जो है ये ओरिजिनल है, ऑथेंटिक है. सो इट स्टूड दैट टेस्ट years later when it tore. So उसके बाद वो फट गया, पुराना हो गया. अब कुछ सालों के बाद many handkerchiefs were embroidered with gold thread paisleys. उसमें से उन्होंने काट के जो है फिर हैंकरचिप्स निकाल ली, बिकॉज जिस पे जो डिज़ाइन था वो बहुत ही खूबसूरत था और देखने में बहुत ही खूबसूरत लगता है। उसके हैंकरचिप्स लोगों ने बना लिए विथ गोल्ड थ्रेड पैसलेस। पैसलेस क्या होता है? सॉफ्ट वुलन फैब्रिक। सो इस पे ये एक आर्ट वर्क किया गया था, तो जिसकी वजह से ये बहुत ही खूबसूरत लग रहा था। मूविंग अहेड, so these handkerchiefs were distributed among the nieces and daughters-in-law. Those two now lost. Now, the poet here wants to say that even the remnants, like the handkerchiefs, are now no more. So they were distributed as if it was a relic. So such was the popularity of and the value of that cloth. Now, the poet here talks about the dark lines or the history of that muslin and the weavers. In history, we learned the hands of weavers were amputated. हिस्ट्री में क्या हुआ, हमें क्या पता चलता है कि जिन्होंने वो कपड़े बनाए थे और जो जो वीवर्स थे उनके जो हैंड्स वो काट दिए गए थे, एंड द लूम्स ऑफ बंगाल साइलेंस्ड। तो क्या हुआ था, तो किन लोगों की हुकूमत थी यहाँ पे? द पोएट हियर वांट्स टू से दैट द इट वाज एक्चुअली द ब्रिटिशर्स who were very cruel and who amputated the hands of those weavers. With the result, what happened? The looms of Bengal silenced. So the poet points towards the dark history of, on the one hand side, Agha Shahid Ali glorifies and overpraises those Dacca Guazes. On the other side, he points towards the dark history of the looms and the weavers. It refers to the similar fate of all rare art works. The author represents young generation and grandmother represents the older generation. So amputation is to weavers what the agony of missing the old things is to grandmother, which is like air filled with sorrow and pain. Moving ahead, and the cotton shipped raw by the British to England. That cotton was shipped to England by Britishers. History of little use to her. My grandmother is very less interested in history. अब उसको history में उतना ज़्यादा interest नहीं था कि उसकी history के बारे में. She only knows about the cloth, how what it was to wear that cloth. She only knows that. My grandmother just says how the muslins of today seem so coarse, and that only in autumn should one wake up at dawn to pray can one feel that same texture again. Now the grandmother says that कि जो आजकल के जो क्लॉथ आता है मार्केट में, जो भी कपड़ा आता है, चाहे वो कितना ही रिफाइंड क्यों ना हो, वो दैट सीम्स कोर्स व्हेन कंपेयर टू विद दैट विद दोस डाका गाजेस। जब उसके साथ कंपेयर किया जाता तो लग रहा था कि ये बहुत ही रफ है, कोर्स है, तो उसके साथ उसका कोई कंपैरिजन है नहीं। सो इफ वन really wants to feel that originality of that cloth, one needs to wake up at dawn and pray. So it's in the religion of Muslims that they wake up at dawn and they pray to Almighty for their well-being. Okay, so it's a part of their religion as well. So one can only experience that kind of feeling when he wakes up at dawn. Early in the morning, he wakes up and he prays to Almighty. One morning, she says, the air was dew stretched. She pulled it absently through her ring. एक सुबह को क्या होता है? She says the air was dew stretched. She woke up. She was in the habit of waking early in the morning and she used to pray. So she found that this cloth is there in the air. So the last three lines are a metaphor for nostalgia and loss of history. We have lost so much because of a man's greed. Real things don't exist anymore. This poem was taken from Agha Shahid Ali's collection of poems called the Half Inch Himalayas. So One morning, the poem ends with this: one morning, she felt its presence and she tested its originality then and there. So it also refers to the fact that the cloth is ephemeral, it's exquisite, and very soft. With this, we so this is the end of today's lesson. Thank you. Do subscribe to our channel for getting the more videos like this. Thank you very much.